When designing a garden, it's like creating a beautiful painting with colours and textures. I love using a broad palette of plants, different kinds of succulents and annuals, different flowering perennials, small native shrubs, to have beauty and diversity and wonder all year round. Now, I'm a bit agnostic when it comes to selecting plants. I like to use a broad range of plants from all different kinds of countries, including Australia. Especially as our climate is changing, it's important to have a broad mix of things to use so that we have resilience as well as having a lot of beauty and wonder. So today, I'm going to give you some wonderful tips on how to select plants from three main groups: structural plants, beautiful plants that have floating flowers and some flower fillers, and there's no better place to start than your local nursery. When selecting plants, I'm looking for diversity, different kinds of shapes of plants, different forms, but also different flower colours and different flowering times. The flower to foliage ratio is something that I use to really ensure I get full flower power. I'm looking for plants that have a lot of flowers to the amount of foliage that they have. Now, it's not just about looks. We want the plants to be really resilient and also to really be feeding those pollinators with flowers throughout the year. When we want to cultivate a year of wonder, it's great to think about the phenology of the plants. So when plants are actively growing, when they're dormant, and when they're flowering. So this incredible daylily, it will flower at particular points of time, and we can think about what else will flower through the rest of the year. It's also great to embrace the life cycles of a plant too. So this sea holly, it looks fabulous as it flowers, but as it finishes, that seed head is going to look incredible too. And as much as I love them, it's not all about the flowers. These incredible grasses bring so much texture and so much beauty to a garden too. Don't forget to choose plants that are going to be suitable for the conditions in your garden. We want them to be climate compatible. So when I look around the globe and when I look throughout Australia, I'm going to choose plants that have similar origins, similar conditions that are going to suit my temperate coastal garden. I love using larger structural plants within a planting because they really fill out the space. They create wonderful density and moments of height in a garden. There are so many salvias that are great for this. Salvia leucanth is a special favourite. It's got this glorious form to it. It's really bright with these beautiful purple flowers, and it's got a velour-like texture to the flowers too, which is a real treat, and it's so long flowering. I love kangaroo paws. They're so iconic, and they have this incredible strappy foliage and these amazing sculptural flowers. They're really a must grow in my garden. I love this yellow. It's got a beautiful blush to it, but kangaroo paws come in an incredible range of colours. When you're choosing plants in a nursery, it's important that you select ones that are healthy. So I always look for signs of new growth in these tips. I give the pot a bit of a squeeze to make sure it's not too tight and root bound. And also I check and see if there's any pests and diseases, because I don't want to take them home with me. To contrast with all the sculptural plants, the structural plants we've got in the garden, I also want to add a group of plants that I call floating flowers. They've got these incredible long stems and flowers that sit well above the foliage, and they create a really immersive experience in the garden, like you're surrounded by a sea of flowers. I love this Scabiosa columbaria because it's got these beautiful blue flowers, almost mauve, and then these really pretty little pincushion-like buds they start with. And there's also another coastal favourite, which is the armeria, that have these long, fine stems and these beautiful little floating flower on top. They're really wonderful to add to the garden. Another fantastic floating flower are Thai lotus. They've got these long stems and they have this beautiful kind of fluffy flower that sits above the foliage. I really love this macrocephalus because it has these beautiful muted green tones in that fluffy flower, but you can get them in pinks, you can get them in little purple colours as well. Thai lotus really thrive in the drier parts of Australia, and so they're going to be really good for my coastal temperate garden. When you get these home from a nursery, I like to snip off all these flowers and make a pretty arrangement on my kitchen table. It allows the plants to really put all of their energy into the root system rather than putting them into the flowers, and it helps them get a good establishment. Xerochrysum bracticum is a fabulous Australian plant that will really fill that role as a flower filler. It's got lots of beautiful foliage, it's got beautiful everlasting flowers, and it really fills up those gaps in the garden. Another favourite of mine is this beautiful Chrysocephalon apiculatum. It's this wonderful mounding ground cover. It's got these gorgeous everlasting flowers as well, and it's so good at covering those little gaps you've got in your garden between the structure and the floating flowers. These plants have this stunning silver foliage, so even when they're not in flower, they still look spectacular. Now, if you need a bit more colour, these Diasia come in a range of colours, but I love this coral variety. They have lovely flowers that sit above the foliage, but I really love them because they're so prolific and easy to make cuttings from. Your local nursery is a great source of inspiration, and when you come to select plants, think about all those principles about selecting plants for diversity, flower colour, flower time, the beautiful shapes, and remember, always think about plants that are suitable for your local conditions. While you can pick up lots of plants at the nursery, you don't have to break the bank to fill out your maximalist planting design. Next time, I'll show you tips and tricks for multiplying plants through propagation, dividing, and direct seeding.